Does the Bible say that we should submit to the government even when it's exhibiting senseless cruelty against our immigrant neighbors? Well, these Catholic bishops don't think so.
As pastors, we, the bishops of the United States, are bound to our people by ties of communion and compassion in our Lord Jesus Christ. And we are disturbed when we see among our people a climate of fear and anxiety around questions of profiling and immigration enforcement.
And I don't think so either. Hi, my name is Maddie Mae Modal. I'm a Bible scholar specializing in gender and sexuality in the New Testament. And the video I just shared with you is a rare special message on behalf of the United States bishops. It's a great video. I have no notes except for the comment section. By the way, I am fighting off a cold. But this is how important I think this message is. In the comment section of this video, there are countless people who cite Romans 13 as support and defense for the state's abuse of immigrant families in the US. And one thing about me is when someone's going to use Paul incorrectly, a bitch is going to roll up. So let's get into it. Romans 13 quite infamously says, "Let every person be subject to the governing authorities, for there is no authority except from God, and those authorities that exist have been instituted by God." Now, when you're reading a letter written by Paul, I need you to get this tattooed on your forehead. You have to remember that Paul was a Jew. This means that the Apostle Paul is drawing from the Old Testament for his understanding of who God is and who people are in relationship to God. And in case you haven't read the Old Testament in a while, let me be the one to remind you. It is full of God judging nations, tearing them down, and condemning them to destruction. And one of the most consistent reasons behind God's vilification of a nation was the mistreatment of the poor, the orphan, and the... What was that? Oh, the immigrant. Some other important context for reading Romans 13 is that it's generally agreed upon that the government in Rome at the time that this letter was written was actually pretty chill. It's before Nero had gone all Nero. So this passage is not talking about a corrupt government that refuses to acknowledge the dignity of all people. Romans 13 has often been misused and mistranslated to argue that Christians, particularly women Christians and people of color Christians and queer Christians, must give unquestioning obedience to the state. But that's a misreading of the text. Romans 13 is not about endorsing tyranny. It's about trusting God's sovereignty while embodying peace and love in a hostile world. And this is a very important point. Remember that peacemakers are not peacekeepers. Embodying peace is to boldly hold the state accountable. Your vote, your protest, and your voice. These bishops are an incredible example of how to do that. We cannot and will not stand with the senseless cruelty exhibited against immigrants and immigrant families in the United States. And I think I speak for all of us, me and the bishops, when I say, that's just not biblical, sis.